What's up, everybody? These are really weird times for all of us, and I think now more than ever, it's great when we can just take a break and focus on some things that we really love, like mountain biking, or personal development, or art, or creativity, or all of that. Because I love all of that. And when I started a channel 2 months ago, I wanted to bring all of that together every single Monday to share with all of you. See, my name's Adam Mock, and I'm a leadership coaching specialist, and I've been a professional artist for over 20 years. And so I geek out at things like people being the best of who they can be and personal development and all things creative and exciting and artful. And I love putting those things together and bringing them to you every single week and showing how the trails when I'm out mountain biking are teaching us great life lessons that we can apply to other areas of our lives every single day. Now, if you have been following me around for the last 3 months, thank you. I love having you here. And I have to give the obligatory, if you like the content that I've been putting out, please gently caress that like button. You don't have to be rough with it or smash it, just gently caress it. Hit the like button, it helps this channel get discovered, it helps me grow. I really want to bring this to more people. Leave a comment. I love interacting with people and I want to see if this stuff is really helping you out or not, even if it's just to say, hey, I've hit those trails before and I love them, or to say something deeper like, wow, this is so profound. That would be my hope anyways. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell. You won't miss a video at all when they're released every single Monday at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Now, what we're going to get into this week, because I am in the home studio, is we are going to review the last 3 months and actually break down the 12 lessons that I believe the trails are teaching us about life. So when I'm out there mountain biking, when I started mountain biking over 3 years ago, I just started realizing that a lot of the things I was learning was applicable to my life. And they are great tools for us to bring more awareness and help us develop as people. And I want to share that with you. So let's get to it. The 12 things I believe the trails are teaching us about life. The first lesson is your fear versus your capability. Man, have you ever just been riding down a trail, maybe you're riding it blind, and you come across a feature that just sketches you out, and you slam on the brakes, you get off, and you start to hike and bike and you check it out. That's awesome if you do that, because it's good to know your range. But a lot of times, not just on the trails, but in life, we halt the brakes and we don't move forward because we believe that our fear is truth. And we forget just how capable we might be. Now, this is different than understanding your range and not doing something that is well beyond your capability at this stage. This is more about testing the next level for you, elevating your levels, and putting that capability up against your fear and realizing you're more capable than you might realize. So that happened to me on a trail called Stair Steps in Aliso Wood Canyon, which is right here in my backyard. And there's a feature on the waterfall that just doesn't translate on the camera. And it's a roll, and it's kind of gnarly. And when you pull up on it, it looks like you're going to fall off the edge of the world, and it sketched me out. So my first video I put out was about this fear versus capability, and I finally decided to let my capability be truth over the fear I was having, and I was going to tackle that roll on stair steps. All right, here we go. How awesome is that? I gotta tell you, it really felt amazing to finally conquer that fear and do that roll on stair steps, because I had been looking at it for a while, and when you finally do something like that, man, there's just no better feeling. Everything in you lights up and you're like, holy smokes, I did it. And I did it. Now, the second lesson I've learned on the trails is simply this lesson about perspective. And man, we can use this in life so much. See, not many of us realize that your thoughts control your feelings, which controls your behavior. And then the big picture in life, that controls how effective you are, your effectiveness. Thoughts, feelings, behavior. And so when I was riding on Five Oaks Trail, and the first time I had done it, I only did the bottom part of Five Oaks. I actually just kind of rode to the bottom, climbed up to this last part and rode down that, and I wiped out. And it hurt, and I lost confidence, and it sketched me out, and I just thought this whole thing sucks. But I realized that as much as we need redemption when we mountain bike, I needed a change of perspective. And a lot of times in life when things are hard, challenging, or we believe that we fail, if we just shift our perspective, that failure becomes a stepping stone, a much greater success, more than we could have ever realized. You know, failure's such an interesting thing. I mean, not only is it viewed as something negative, but when we fail, it can also distort our perspective. After my wipeout at the base of Five Oaks, this trail became some kind of huge monster in my mind. It was just this beast made up of loose dirt, steep chutes, and tight turns. And honestly, I just thought I'd never be able to tackle it. All because of a wipeout. A failure. And that happens in life a lot too. I mean, we fail at something we really, really want, and we start to believe that not only are we not capable, but the task was simply too big, too hard, and that we couldn't possibly overcome it. See, our minds convince us that we just don't have what it takes. But the truth is, our failures can move us closer to success. I mean, they can teach us what not to do, what doesn't work, and even how to approach something better. So I was determined to destroy that beast in my mind and change my perspective of what the story of me and this trail would be. So any chance you get when things have been difficult for you, see if you're looking at the full story. See if you can shift your perspective. Stop using the old language and the old narrative that has kept you back, and see if you can shift it to something more positive. It made a huge difference for me on that trail, Five Oaks, and now it's just one of my favorite trails. I absolutely love it. Now let's get on to the third lesson. This is where we're going to talk about risk versus reward. And the trails show us this almost every single time I'm out on it. But it's no different in life. A lot of times we are just making constant decisions daily where we're measuring the risk of moving forward with an action versus the reward that we're going to get out of it. Now, unfortunately, right after I released my video on Five Oaks about perspective, I was back on Five Oaks with my friend Robert, and this video really illustrated risk. The reward for him was tackling Five Oaks. He had only done it, I think, one other time before, and he had sessioned it, so this was his first time he wanted to do a full flow through Five Oaks. Unfortunately, it didn't go well, and it led to a wipeout and a helicopter airlift out, and quite a gnarly ankle injury.
As we're coming through this turn here, after a big chunky rock ledge, I just was starting to feel like maybe I was getting out of control or something, so I was trying to, I think I kind of started slowing down a little bit. Maybe I started sliding, put my foot down, and then my bike just went. And I saw my foot kind of turning, and my bike was flying behind me. So, and I knew something happened. It did not feel good.
Hey guys, medics are on the way down the hill right now to you, okay?
Day of adventure, huh?
Does this knee pad make my ankle look fat?
So Robert is still on the mend. His original cast is now off. He's in a walking boot, and every day he's getting better and stronger. Can't wait for him to be back on a bike. He can't wait to get back on a bike because it's so much stinking fun to be riding trails. Anyways, lesson number 4. There's a trail called Rocket Trail out here in Aliso Wood Canyon, and there's this sweet rock feature on it that you come up on pretty quickly, and there's some off-camber rock slab you're going with these weird craters around it, and all of a sudden this rock shows up right in front of you. And a lot of times you can get off your bike and try and go around it, but if you know the trick, if you know the technique, you can actually go up and over it and keep flowing through the entire trail. And when my friend Greg Russell taught me how to do this, I was amazed to find out that it wasn't how I thought I should be doing it. See, this was more about momentum than speed, and more about shifting my weight around my bike so I can carry my momentum over this feature. A lot of times in life we can do the same thing. If we just shift our focus towards something else, when we meet a challenge or a roadblock, we'd be amazed at how we can go around it, up and over it, or even through it. So I decided to break down how to do this rock feature for those of us who bike out here in Southern California. Notice how I'm carrying my momentum through this section and past the craters. I want to focus on unweighting my front tire on this rock slab that's coming up. And I do this by shifting my weight down, and then I'm going to shift my weight back on my bike, like doing a manual, to allow the front tire to roll up and over the top of the rock slab. At the top, I shift my weight up and forward to unweight the back tire. That should allow your bike to roll up and over the rock slab. Then you can pop the dropper up for the climb ahead. Look at your line, focus on where you want to go, and trust me, you'll get through this section and you'll be flowing through the rest of the trail. Hopefully that helps you. If you've never been able to get over that rock feature, you can start sessioning it and practicing that. And for those of you who don't mountain bike, just in life, where can you shift your focus to keep momentum going, to go over obstacles that you thought you could not overcome before? Now, let's get on to the fifth lesson. One of my favorite trails that I get to ride is something called Lynx Trail, and it's really fast trail, short burst out here, and there's one part of it that opens up a bit more, and there's a very prominent line on the left. And when I first did this trail as an inexperienced rider, it really sketched me out, and I thought my only option was this left-hand side of the trail. And as I became more experienced, I realized it didn't matter if I took that left-hand line or I went down the middle or even ventured off to the right, I was going to be able to make it down no matter what. Now, a lot of times in life, we think we're living at full choice, but we just have the illusion of it. We're only taking this left-hand trail. Many times we have other choices available to us that we don't even realize because we're not pausing long enough to look at it. So I decided to break down this part of the trail, not just to show the different options on it, but to show us that life wants us to live at full choice. So live life at full choice. Don't always think you get to pick from chocolate and vanilla when there's 31 flavors out there. Now, the sixth lesson that the trails are teaching us. I found a lizard in my garage one day, and no matter how hard I tried to get that lizard back outside, because I really wanted it to be out where it should be, where it can thrive and had its home and can eat bugs and everything, it was so fearful of my gentle nudging outside that it just kept running deeper and deeper into the garage. And the garage is not the best place for a lizard to live. So, this was all about not being like the lizard. Are you running from that nudge? You know, the one that has your lizard brain convincing you that you need to hide from that prompting? That nudge that's trying to redirect you towards something bigger, something better, and more aligned with who you really are. I know it seems scary because heading in a new direction brings a lot of unknowns, but you're not alone. We all face fear and doubts, and even that insecurity. But you're more capable than you realize. And your greatest happiness may start with just one step in a different direction. So don't be like the lizard. If you're getting a gentle nudge towards something, it might be worth pausing long enough to explore it and see if there's a better option happening for you, and maybe your gut's trying to tell you something. This is all about trying new things. Now, I think all of us know this in concept. We're like, wow, I should really try something new or venture out there more or put myself out there more. But a lot of us don't. And so when I had the opportunity to start learning how to jump for the first time, that was new for me. I hadn't done something like that since I was, I don't know, like a wee bairn, a little kid. I'm a man now, and I hadn't really tackled jumps. So I decided to hit them for the first time, and it doesn't always go really well. But I had a blast doing it.
Oh, I totally bombed that nose, but at least I did it. I gotta hit it again. That got freaky.
That was every way you could have died, and you saved every part. now it's a piece of cake, right?
Okay, that's gonna be in the video. Could have been ugly, but that's okay.
So if an opportunity comes up for you to try something new, you might want to check it out. And if no opportunities are coming your way to try something new, maybe you need to create one. Every single time you want to learn something new, you want to do that new thing, you have to start somewhere. When it came to mountain biking, there's a trail out here called Coyote Run, which is just so much fun, but it's that next step, or even that first step, that a lot of us had to start at as mountain bikers, just to get an idea of what our bikes felt like, what it really felt like to ride down a trail, and things like that. And I don't think this trail gets as much love as it deserves. So I took a Zen trip down Coyote Run, and I want to share it with everybody just to encourage you that today is a great day to start somewhere. For some of you, all you needed to hear today when you tuned into this video were those two words: start somewhere. That's for you. Get after it. Let's move on to the next lesson. This next lesson just reaffirms that laughter really is the best medicine. I had a chance to go to Santiago Oaks and tackle this beautiful rock wall feature there, where there's this kind of a gnarly rock that's really intimidating on, like, I'll call it the spine of this wall. And well, you're just gonna have to check out the video, but you're gonna learn that laughter really is the best medicine. This is the spine of the wall, and it's really gnarly to get up close to. And if you go up to the back end of it and look over, it feels like you're dropping off the face of the world. I needed a minute to check this thing out, but Joseph, he was ready to tackle this monster.
And I missed my line.
Wow!
take yourself so seriously. In an age of social media and highlight reels and having to have everything perfect and trying to be the walking LinkedIn profile on everything to all people, maybe it's not that serious. And a little laughter goes a long way, so laugh it up. This lesson was all about timeless adventures. You know, those adventures that can't always be found in media or social media or technology. The kind of adventures that make you feel like a kid again, and that they're mostly found outdoors or an experience with other people. I decided to have some fun with this video and go black and white, a little bit of a silent film, to show that you don't always need HD, you don't always need vibrant colors, and you don't always need sound to still have an incredibly great time. So seek out opportunities to have timeless adventures. While you're using your laughter as the best medicine, go out there, keep seeking experiences. They are just so life-changing, and you might just find new sets of friends and all kinds of new things out there to explore. For lesson 11, I found myself back on Five Oaks for something called chunking and sessioning. Here's what it is if you don't know. You take a big goal you have. In the case of the video, it was this Trail Five Oaks. And instead of thinking about how intimidating this entire trail can be, or how intimidating or daunting this big goal that you do want to accomplish might seem, you chunk it into bite-sized pieces for yourself. Digestible pieces, ideal-sized pieces, pieces that aren't so scary, pieces that you can actually accomplish. When you break it out like that, you move forward through that chunk. And if you really want to master it, you keep going over and over on that chunk, sessioning it. That's what we do when we ride. We ride a feature over and over and over again. There's kind of a general rule that once you've done something new, you do it 2 more times, so that you've hit it 3 times, so that you know it's been reinforced and it wasn't a fluke. You can do the same thing in life. So I found myself back on Five Oaks, and ironically enough, learned that I still need to session a part of this trail. We gotta do it again. Let me take this off. Okay. Just wiped out. This is why sessioning is so important. I'm actually glad we have this on film. Can't wait to go back and check it out. I think I missed my line at one point. I think my bars might have hit a bush. Either way, I tried to stay committed. I could hear myself grabbing some brakes. Ended up washing out here. Those who ride with me, you know I'm a big believer in like full facing up and having all the gear. It's for moments like this where I can walk away from it, kind of laugh it off, get stung a little bit, but really be okay to go up and try it again. So that's what we're gonna do. If I let this be the story
then I have to wait for this idea of redemption. And I just need to keep my confidence high based on what my capability is. So this was not the norm, but let's get redemption right here and right now.
On to the final lesson, number 12. And number 12 is simply this. I'm a big believer that the pockets of our lives are trying to teach us greater truths about the whole of our lives. Life is always whispering in our ear and in our hearts and in our intuition, our gut, nudging us in different directions to play, to explore, to find connection, to find community, and to grow ourselves personally. The best thing you can possibly do is listen to those little nudges in life. Go after them, not take yourself too seriously, have timeless adventures, and learn from those pockets that are trying to teach you greater truths. Mountain biking has allowed me to meet some of the most extraordinary people, have some of the best times of my life, and find new connections that I would have never had, and new creative outlets like this channel. So go after it. And again, if this was helpful to you, please like it, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned. Every single Monday, I'm going to try and bring you the best of the trails to the best of my ability, and we're going to continue to grow together. And like I say at the end of all my videos, until then, and especially now, I wish all of you peace and love.
Say what you want, say what you will. I missed the ride that